Hello, everyone, and welcome to Era Military Collectibles. Different, stranger time than normally. It is Saturday, but we're here anyway. I see you're all here. Well, I'll just read through the comments what people have been saying before I came online. Ping is the champ limbering up. I was limbering up. I was making tea, and I was bringing in some nice little buns that I can be picking away at here while I'm talking to you. Kenny, hello everyone. Hello, Kenny. Please not try and kill Kenny tonight, guys. Kettle is on at the start line and the offensive, waiting for the whistle to blow. And the bloke just kicked the football towards the enemy lines. Yeah, Kenny, you dead yet? No, Kenny's. I hope if Kenny, you haven't killed Kenny already, have you? Um, the evening is but young, youth, and good. Always you, Dave. I've got stuff done, but sometimes there's enough and action. Having a beer. No, I'm not having a beer. I'm having tea. Regular old tea. Stan's here. Well, Stan, how are you? Good evening. Good evening, Noah. And Nick, good evening. Hello, everyone. So, welcome. So, we are doing the draw tonight. But we won't do it quite yet, but I just want to show you fairness. We're going to be picking it out of this female RUC hat because it's the one with there's no lip on it. So, hopefully, nothing will get. David, how are you? So, hopefully, nothing will get stuck in the band. So, noon. I'm just showing you here now. So, there are just all the different names. There's Stan. So there's loads of different names in it. So where's Noon go? Noon is here. Ralph is there. Arthur is there. David is there. Jim Timber is there. John McCain is there. Andrew Johnston is there. World War Two Militaria. Kenny Rebel is there. Porrick is there. And Noah Smith is there. And Military Collectibles is there. So if you entered into the competition, your names are all in here. And we will be pulling them out later on. We'll wait for a few more people to come in though. So I'm just folding them in half in the hat, make it a bit more suspense, shall we say, um, for when who gets the name, or who gets their name pulled. I better do this on camera so people can see me. We're not making sure that I'm fixing the draw. The draw is for a up banner mystery box. So the competition was you had to comment on a specific video, and when my new video came up, the competition was closed. So these are all the people that had commented on that video in that time frame. So that's why they are going in the hat. Hello, Military Collectibles. It's been a good night for war movies so far on TV. I must admit, I was only watching the Irish rugby game um, against New Zealand. I'm not going to tell you how it turned out, but it turned out bloody fantastic, if you ask me. Very good game. Stan probably, I don't know if Stan got to watch it, but very enjoyable game, very physical game, as always when you're playing the All Blacks. And it's a proper sport, not like the people that play football and not football. We call football something different. So soccer, those prima donnas. So all the names are ready. So I will call a mystery arm in a while, and we will draw a name. uh, it was a very good game. It was a very good game. It was a very good game. My gosh, I looked for a Bundy water bottle on Fleabay, and my inbox is being slammed with every water bottle on the planet. um, I don't. Dave, who's there, uh, has kindly. Better chew this bun first. Very chewy. Um, Stan, I have a few actual thank yous. Um, Andrew, who's there, sent me a kind um um morale package. I wasn't expecting. Sent me a nice little poppy. I don't know on the etiquette on the poppy. Are you still allowed to wear it after Armistice Day? But I was wearing it on Armistice Day. Um, There will be a video coming up Sunday of Armistice Day because it's normally celebrated on the first Sunday after the 11th. So it will be coming up on the 11th. Or sorry, it should have been up. Yeah, tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow. Um, so I can wear it till Sunday. Okay, perfect. Um, so Andrew kindly sent me that. He sent me a Tour of Duty Season 1 box set, so that's going to be my binge over the weekend. And he's also kindly sending me an Argyle and Southern Highlanders cap. Very, very kind of that man. I will do some trading with him and some horse trading and stuff, so we'll get it sorted. Stan sent me a book on the people with the initials that YouTube really don't like us talking about. Um, I started reading that. Very, very hard reading, but as Stan had already warned me, but it's very informative. And Dave is sending me some East German stuff that I did a bit of horse trading with him for. And we're still waiting that in the post because for some reason, post from the UK has gone bloody mental. My gosh, I looked. Oh, that's right. Only seen the end of the Ireland game, but just watched England versus Australia. Come on, the Palms. um, no, no. I suppose that old rivalry is still there when it comes to sport. I like to see anyone that plays England win. No, that's not very politically correct, but that's how I feel. Till the Sunday, that's in relation to Reg. You are it until Sunday. I am it until Sunday. Oh, I'm allowed to wear the badge until Sunday. That's cool. Hi, glad it turned up okay. Yeah, fantastic. Thanks, Andrew. It all turned up. The Rune Fellas. Yeah, the Rune Fellas. I got a book about the Rune Fellas. And good book. Very good book. Very hard reading. Even for me, uh, which is good. But yeah, it is a good book. And Stan, your return book will be in the post on Monday. Uh, it is your right, of course. It is my right, of course. Yeah. Yeah. But when it comes to sport, I'm a really anti-soccer guy. I don't like soccer. Um, I think the money the lads are paid for what they're doing is ridiculous. And I actually have a relation who plays professional soccer in England, and I'll say it straight to him as well if I see him. Um, but look, it is what it is. It's not my cup of tea, but it's some people's cup of tea. I prefer rugby and the Irish sports of GAA. If any of you know what they are, there's football and there's hurling. There's handball as well, which is another GAA sport, which I follow. So my sport would be hurling, handball, football, and then rugby. Um, because they're all fairly physical sports. Um, as hurling has been described, it is the fastest turf sport in the world and it is a combination of hockey and murder. So, yeah, there you go. And I always laugh. The rights to hurling at one stage was sold to, not all games, but some of the games was sold to Sky. And I used to laugh so much at watching the commentators try to pronounce some of the names and some of the things that were done. Hurling is a bit brutal. It is a bit brutal, which is always good when it comes to sport. I would believe table tennis should be made full contact because it would make it more entertaining. Um, yeah, that's just my opinion on sport. So we digress. So getting back to the collecting world. So that's what was happening um, in relation to stuff. It's been very very hard on the post. I have in the works a female mannequin, so I will be redoing the female RUC uniform for those of you that are mad looking for that one, and I will be doing the female green finch uniform, which are the only two female uniforms that I own. So they will be coming up shortly as well. Sounds like a great game for eating stuff at school bullies. Yeah, it is actually. It's a very very physical sport. It's very if you hurling is a very skillful sport. Takes an awful lot of skill to play it. I played senior rugby for 30 years. Great fun, lots of beer. Um, just because you've stopped playing rugby now, Stan, doesn't mean you have to stop on the beers as well. Contact table tennis. I like. Yeah, contact table tennis sounds great fun. Um, Whereas like when you get to serve, you get to also dive over the over the table after the ball, which would be very, I believe, would be a lot of fun. Um, yeah. Uh, but as I said, we're digressing. In relation to what's happening, the tour bit of video that I did on the north, people seem to have enjoyed that, and we got a lot of comments on it. So I will be doing something in the future about local history and things like that. Um, they will be coming up. The World War II impression, British one, is almost complete. I believe I have found a reasonable source for a good uniform that isn't a Panther store, unfortunately, because their waiting list is so long. But that will be coming up, and we will hopefully be doing another prize giving before Christmas. So that's the plans for the channel that are coming up at the minute. Beer still got it going, it doing it, doing it, going. Yes, shit, I can't even read. Still doing it. There we go. Football with three teams and two balls. Mm. We're getting interesting. Where you filmed on the border is that where the 50 cal sniper was? Um, in that area, he did operate around that area. He was known around that area, but he was more South Armagh direction. Um, he was more Bandit Country direction. Um, if his nickname on the Irish side was actually called Petty One Shot. I don't know what the British called him, but supposedly the rumor has it was he was actually a French Foreign Legion trained sniper. He was an Irish guy that had done his time in the French Foreign Legion and basically came back and used his skills for different things to do. Um, the area, if any of you don't know, the area where did the filming for the Northern Ireland stuff is County Cavan, Fermanagh border. Um, uh, so yeah, so we were doing some stuff around there, and I have been talking. I have some contacts up there and some local people up there, and they will be telling me or bringing me and showing me actual specific spots and getting their point of view of stuff that happened up there. They called, yeah, the 50 cal sniper was known as Paddy One Shot. On the Irish side, he was known as Paddy One Shot, or One Shot Paddy One Shot, we called him. I think he had several names. Oh, very good. Okay. I worked in Linscan 2008 at 2009. So, I liked your video. I know the area you were chatting about. Oh, very good. Thanks, Rick for Green. Yeah, I like that area as well up there, and as I said, I have some contacts and stuff up there of people on both sides, so it's easy get information about things up there. I would actually like to maybe one day, the next time I'm up around there, is maybe meet up. If you're in that area, and it would be nice to get your side of the area as well, and we'll just have a drive around and you can show me things that happened where and stuff like that. He was called Rick O'Shea. Paddy One Shot was he? Um, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what his real name was. They did arrest him. He was eventually caught. Um, he was. They actually believe that the Washington sniper got his idea from Petty One Shot, because Petty One Shot used to shoot out of the back of a cattle box. He had a door done in such a way, and I think he used a car as well at one point in time. Um, he'd fire from inside cover at his targets. Um, and it's rumored. But I have seen um, documentaries where they led towards that your man had got the idea from an IRS sniper. Where have we gone? He was called Ricochet. Would be good to hear different accounts from the border area. Yes, Kenny, it would be. And some people are okay with coming on camera, other people are not. Um, it is still fairly. There's still an awful lot of people that are frightened, for want of a better word, in relation to stuff up there. So it's sometimes it's better for them to show you and then you to relay the information. Um, I'm not good with my editing skills yet at the minute. Um, where to blur people's faces out and change their voices and things like that. So that's the way I'm going to approach it. But if Rifle Green is still there, I'd definitely love to get in contact with you when next time I'm up around there and we could go for a spin around the place and you could I'm sure you'll be able to tell me some fantastic information with your background up around there. Um, wouldn't he use a horse box in a small van? He would, yeah, and that's where they believe the Washington sniper got his ideas. Understandable. Blanco, in Blanco, there was a corner near the police barracks called Split Corner. The IRA had a sniper nest in the Republic, and they pin patrols on the corner. Yeah, th- that's it was a famous tactic. The British soldiers, RUC even used it. It was called a bomb burst. So when the door would open, you see videos of them. They're literally sprinting out of their barracks before they settled down into patrol, because they were very good targets at that stage, um, and it was happened. Um, oh, I can't remember the exact date, but I think they were the last recorded troops that have been killed in the north. Was guys that were going to Afghanistan. They ordered a pizza, and the I can't remember. I think it was an inside man or something like that. But when they ordered the pizza, they knew the address where the pizza was being delivered to, which was pretty much the gate of the barracks. Um, and they literally just flattened them. They opened up on them when the boys came out the gate to get the pizza. And I think there was two killed and two injured or something like that. And that was recent enough. That was in mid 90s. It could have been even the 2000s if I remember correctly. Um, well, yeah, it would have to have been in the 2000s if they were going to Afghanistan. Um, sorry, my RUC days were Castleberg, County Tyrone, Downpatrick, County Down. Yeah, but even if it's just for meeting up for a cup of coffee, Rifle Green, and sitting down having a chat, um, I'd have no problem in doing that. If you're up for that, maybe one time. It was two sappers. Yeah, it was two sappers. Were they sappers? They were sappers actually. Yeah. An old boy spent 30 years in My old boy spent 30 years in the RUCPS and I many stories. I love hearing stories from both sides. When you're studying a specific time frame, be it Northern Ireland troubles, Vietnam, World War II, First World War, whatever your time frame is, you need to um, be impartial. I do see points of view from, and I do understand why things were happening. Um, I completely understand, shall we say, the equal rights marches, things like that. I can completely understand why those were happening. I completely understand when you see innocent individuals on both sides being killed. I can understand why guys were getting bugger this now. I'm going to do something about this, and ended up joining the IRA or joining the UVF, the UDA, or whatever group they joined, joining the police, joining the army. I can understand why that happened. So you need to have that impartial view in your head. I know guys that were in all sides of the conflict, um, and they classify me as a neutral. I don't have any. My interest in it is solely history, and to pass on information to other people. Um, so yeah, so it's still a bit. There's still an awful lot of people that are wary about talking up there. So yeah, I watched a video of some Royal Green Jackets running from a fob on patrol, and they were causing a rampant for making them run. Oh no, that they weren't real. They weren't Green Jackets. They were Welsh Guardsmen. I know the documentary you're on about. The reason they were causing a ruckus for the Rupert making a bomb burst out of the place was because the camp was back here and there was watchtowers here. So he was making them run from this road to the watchtower whereas they wanted to run from the watchtower out onto the street. So they were saying like, there's no sense in running in this bit of it because we're being watched from here and we're being watched from here, and we're in a safe zone. So that's why they were giving out about the Rupert military lingo. If anyone doesn't know what a Rupert is an officer. Um, I watched. Oh yeah, message deleted or message retracted. Message retracted. Lisburn barracks in Antrim was where the sappers were murdered. Okay. Um, let the guard down and bad things happen. Exactly. Exactly. I was on duty in Newry when the sappers were murdered, March 2009. There you go. Happy to chat and meet anytime. Perfect, Rifle Green. Thank you very much. Um, yeah. You see, even wording, like they were murdered. They were murdered in cold blood. Um, you see, you run into this an awful lot, especially when it comes to the War of Independence in Ireland. Oh, historians not being impartial. If they were just simple wording. So if a British soldier was killed in a ambush engagement or whatever with the British Army, um, he was killed in action, right? But if an Irish volunteer was killed or something like that, he was murdered by Crown forces. Do you understand what I mean? You have to be impartial. Why can't the Irish volunteer have been killed in action? Same as words you're using for the British soldier or the RI seaman or whatever. So yeah, you do need to. I'm not getting onto you guys because you said it was murder because what happened there was that if a guy is unarmed, and he's not expecting it and he's getting a pizza or whatever, and guys at that stage anyway in 2009 the Good Friday Agreement had been signed. Those lads thought they were safe. So yeah, it's a bit tricky. It's a bit of a minefield if you get me. And especially with today's day and age as well, you have to be very, very politically correct and respectful and mindful of what you're saying and what you're trying to portray and what you're trying to talk about to people. So, especially with Op Banner and Northern Ireland Troubles, it's mental. It's like whenever I say Op Banner, I have to say Northern Ireland Troubles after because one side refer to it as that, the other side refer to it as that. Derry, Londonderry. You can't just go Derry because you have other people going. It's actually Londonderry, and then you go, it's Derry. It was never Londonderry. So words can be get you in an awful lot of trouble up there. Actually, believe it or not. Um, where have we gone? Happy to chat. Yeah, Rifle Green. Drop me an email. I know you have my email, so drop me an email, and I'll work out dates the next time I'm up there, and we can meet up and have a chat and a coffee and stuff like that. Rupert with a map and a compass. Yeah, they're very dangerous. Never trust anyone with a pip that's got a map and a compass, even a GPS. Go the opposite direction, whatever way they're going. Um, Propaganda is always the voice. Yes, exactly. Irish history is a minefield, especially with the troubles. It is a huge minefield. Good explanation for description, John, as in killed in action, etc. Yeah, exactly. You, for some reason, especially when you're reading into um, War of Independence, what we classify as the War of Independence, some people call it the Ten War. Um, then you had the Civil War after it. Believe it or not, there's very, very little history taught. War of Independence, yes. There's very, very little taught on the Civil War in Irish schools, which I believe is wrong because it was a massive part of our history as well. It was a very short Civil War, though. It only lasted a year and a bit. Um, so yeah, but yeah, you do come across that a lot. The way they word things, killed in action on one side, but murdered on the other. It's doesn't make any sense. If you're classifying him, if it'd be different, where if it was a civilian or a neutral, um, and that would be a murder because they had nothing to do with the conflict. If you're recognizing him as a volunteer, he was killed in action. He was killed by the Crown forces in action. Same as if a British soldier was killed, he was killed by the IRA in action. So yeah, um, I hope I make myself understandable when I say what I'm trying to say. But like Irish history in relation to conflict is mental. When you delve into it more, you had Irish relations, or I had Irish relations. You had Irish regiments fighting against each other back as far as Napoleon, probably. Even back as far as the Jacobite rebellion. You had Irish regiments on both sides of the divide, some for Crown forces, some for the Jacobites, fighting each other. The American Civil War, Gettysburg, famous one, Irish regiments faced off against each other and actually cheered at each other's bravery. Craziness. Um, and it was actually quite funny. Well, I wouldn't say it was funny. It's a bit mental when you actually think about it. But the American Civil War was the last war that was fought, I mean, with Napoleonic tactics, where it's literally lines of guys stand up, face each other, and just beat each other. And whoever's got the most men at the end wins. That's pretty much how Napoleonic War was fought. Um, but there's a famous encounter where Irish regiments faced each other. Union at one side, Confederate at the other side. And back then, Irish was widely spoken. And the guys were speaking Gaelic across the lines to each other, basically taunting each other. And it actually happened, whereas people knew each other on the other side, came from the same villages, the same towns, and things like that. That's a bit heartbreaking, actually, when you think about it. There was a famous incident in the First World War in relation to the Munster Fusiliers, which was an Irish regiment, which was a regiment belonged to my family. My family served in that regiment. Some family members served in that regiment. When 1916 happened, um, they stuck up a sign in the German trenches saying, "Your families are being killed by British forces at home. Why don't you help your countrymen," and stuff like that. And the Munster Fusiliers got a bit pissed off with it and formed a charge to take the sign down. Like, when you're dealing with lunatics like that, like, they put up a sign. Okay, well, sticks and stones. No, we're going to get the sign back. It did happen. You did have what was known as the Indian Mutiny, whereas the Connacht Rangers, they were falsely fed information about what was happening at home by a German agent, I believe it was feeding them false information. She was actually, I believe, I've only ever heard the story. I've never done much research into it, but I've heard it on a few occasions. He was actually printing British papers like Times and stuff like that at the time, very reputable papers, and he was printing um, horrible stories about what British soldiers, RIC, were doing in Ireland, burning houses, burning things like that, which was actually going on, but not to the extent that he was making out. And he printed it in papers and he gave it to these guys who were in India, these Irish soldiers that were served in India, and it was known as the Indian Mutiny. It was the regiment was called the Connacht Rangers, and they actually shot about 20 of them, if I remember, and they disbanded that battalion of the Connacht Rangers. The Connacht Rangers was a famous battalion or regiment in the British Army. Actually, they were classified as a crack troop. I don't know if any of you ever remember watching Richard Sharp, and that series with Sean Bean in it. The Connacht Rangers were mentioned in that a few times as being crack troops. Um, then you had other famous regiments: the Enniskillen Fusiliers, the Enniskillen Dragoon Guards, Dublin Fusiliers, Leinster Regiment, Munster Fusiliers, the Royal Irish Regiment, which could recruit from anywhere in Ireland. Uh, Jesus, there was so many different regiments. You had Tyneside Irish, just like the Tyneside Scottish. You had the London Irish, and an awful lot of Irish guys actually, believe it or not, fought with Scottish regiments during the First World War and even in the Second World War, because of their Celtic traditions. So an awful lot of guys found themselves on that side. My mum watched that. Your mum watched what, Kenny? I'm not to understand what you mean. Um, you're all got very quiet, guys. Have I put you all to sleep again? Sorry. I'm just going to eat a bun while I wait for more answers or more questions, I should say. Sure. Oh yeah, Richard Sharp. Sorry. Yeah, Connacht Rangers were mentioned in Richard Sharp a few times. Um, I'm trying to think of other famous Irish regiments. Well, you have the Irish Guards, obviously. Um, what was the poet's name? Kipling. Kipling's son was in the Irish Rangers or Irish Guards. Getty's battlefield is fascinating, still very much intact. Yeah, I think she fancies Sean Bean. Um, Gettysburg is actually I was actually in Gettysburg years ago. Uh, um, you have the Gettysburg Battlefield Association or something like that. But they actually buy whenever they can parts of Gettysburg that the battle was involved in, and they put it back to the old way it was at the battle. So I think it is apart from Stalingrad was all rebuilt. There's another place, the Valley of Tears in Syria. Well, it's not actually Syria; it's the Golan Heights. Um, that there's still an awful lot of the tanks from the I don't know was it the Yom Kippur War? Yeah, it was the Yom Kippur War. Or was it the 6 Day War? It was it was one of those two. It was either the Yom Kippur War or the 6 Day War from the Israelis. Those tanks, that battlefield is pretty much nearly intact as well. But Gettysburg is a very intact battlefield as well. Um, a meeting engagement over boots. A meeting engagement over boots was tagged to the Irish Guards in Kosovo in 1999. Half of them were from Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. The Irish Guards as well. The Irish Guards, the Royal Marines, are they're known as what's known as neutral regiments as well. So if you're, especially with the Royal Irish, actually, the Royal Irish Regiment, or the Royal Irish Rangers, the Royal Irish Regiment, I can't remember the Royal Irish Regiment. Yeah, you see an awful lot of Fijians in that regiment because it's classified as a neutral regiment. That guys that come from Fiji or come from any place, Jamaica, because you could join the British Army if you've come from any Commonwealth country, except Canada, I believe. Um, so you do see an awful lot of these guys in those regiments. I think I was watching a thing there because the Royal Irish Regiment are running a recruitment drive now at the minute, and I think it's 62% or 63% of that regiment is Irish born or Irish descent, um, which is a fairly high statistic. Um, prop rubber muskets from the Sharp TV series were cut down and used as patch fillers for the airborne scabbards for the troops in Band of Brothers. Oh, that's very interesting. I know a few lads who were in Kosovo. Hell of a mess out there. Yeah, it was a bloody mess out there. I bet some Sharp fans cried. I'd cry if I seen them cutting down things like that. Will you ever do an NBC video? I can do an NBC video. Cold War chemically. Yeah, I can do an NBC video. I do actually have some. I actually have a full NBC kit, so I could do if you want. Uh, do you mean the drop bags in the rope? No, they were actually there was no they didn't there was no actual drop bags like you see now on airborne jumps. There were leg bags that were actually strapped to their legs, and then you had containers. The Balkan unpleasantness was rather a bad things and can still happen. It can. There's still an awful lot of grudgery actually in Kosovo between Bosnians, Serbs, Croats. Uh, there's still an awful lot of bad blood there. These buns are actually nice. What time are we? Half eight. It's about halfway through the conversation, guys. So will I bring in the mystery hand to pull the prize winner? Give me a thumbs up or a yes or a no if you want to get the prize out of the way. If you want, I can send you photos of live comp opens and naps I have from the golf. Yeah, please do. If you don't mind, I always love getting information. If you ever want to get in contact with me, guys, a lot of the guys do. A lot of the guys send me an email every now and again just to chat. Um, and like the likes of Steel Helmet Stand there, Dave and Andrew and stuff like that, I do have regular correspondence with. Um, I have no problem in giving my private details after we've made a bit of a connection. Where have we gone? It was a chapter often find hidden shock M1, M1, A1 carbines. It was a chapter open to finding. Oh, okay, I understand what you mean now. Worked with a couple of riggers who were ex Army Fiji lads. Nice fellas. Yeah, the Fijians are sound. I've worked with the Fijians. I've worked with Ghanaians as well, which was very odd because Fijians, or the Ghanaians, one of them eats cats and the other one eats dogs. I don't know which way it was around. The rumor was anyway. But whenever they were playing a football match or anything, we used to have to go and sit between them. We could never figure out why. We just got to rent a crowd, whereas they'd bring us. But Fijians would be barking at the Ghanaians, and the Ghanaians would be meowing back at the Fijians just to annoy each other. And they were big, big men as well. I don't know if they ever kicked off or how we'd ever try and stop them. 1,000 years of hatred. Yeah, the Balkans is. Uh, it was a chapter open for finding. Oh yeah, sorry. It was a chapter. My old neighbour was in the Croatian army. He saw some awful stuff. Yeah, the Croatian conflict was terrible. I'll get my mystery arm to come in if I can get through. Kill hammer duty after the buggers, and then I had them done the worst to civilians. Yeah, the 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 conflict in in Yugoslavia at that time was nuts, absolutely ridiculous. Um, but sure, I mean, like it goes back as far as the First World War, guys. When you look at it, um, the when it goes back to the First World War, that um, look, the First World War was started in Yugoslavia, technically, um, with the execution of a prince. No, we'll just wait for the mystery hen to come in. I never said small Fijian, massive. They are. They're huge. They're massive Fijians. It was a Fiji. Was it in Aden? There was two Fijians. One got the Victoria Cross, I believe. There was one killed anyway, and one got the Victoria Cross, or was it the one that got killed got the Victoria Cross? Um, there's a documentary actually on it. They were cut off in a post, um, and they basically fought off a load of lads in Aden. It was Aden, or was it? Was it Aden? I think it was Aden actually, yeah. And there was a Fijian guy killed. Clawhammer duty after the buggers done the worst villains. Yeah, Fijian lads. Great rugby players. They're good rugby players. Sure, All Blacks as well. May I have the mystery arm, please? And the winner is World War Two Militaria. You see that? So if you are World War Two Militaria, please get in contact with me via the email and we will sort out a delivery. And if you don't get in contact with me by the time the next live stream is, we pull another name. Um, does that sound fair? Does that sound fair, everyone? Is military is World War Two military online tonight? If he is, you've won. Um, drum roll. Most must have been filling or not being able to stop what was going on in Kosovo. There was an awful lot of, I believe, the British Army lads suffered an awful lot of mental health issues after Kosovo because of their rules, pretty much their rules of engagement. I believe an awful lot of UN forces and Rwanda as well, I believe, caused an awful lot of mental health issues for UN peacekeepers in Rwanda and in Kosovo because of the rules of engagement that they were made to abide by. Oh, my tea's gone cold. Oh well. Um, yes, so well done, World War Two. Have you here? World War Two military. I have seen a few of your comments and stuff before, so I know you are a subscriber. But as I said, do you sound? Does it sound fair, guys? We'll give him until the next live stream, and if he doesn't get in contact, we will pull another name out of the hat. I'll leave the names in the hat. Um, just basically so I'm not holding on to the package for weeks and weeks and weeks. So if any of you know who World War Two military is, or if you've subscribed to him or whatever, or even if you watch this later on, drop me an email. The video at the top of all of my video descriptions is the email to get in contact with me. Warriors is a great doc or drama. I remember actually seeing there was Do you ever remember that TV series Soldier Soldier? Didn't they do a couple of episodes where they were supposedly stationed in Kosovo? Not too informed on the Kosovo rules of engagement. What were they exactly? They were literally not allowed to get involved in anything unless their lives were threatened. So they literally had to stand back and watch massive atrocities happen in villages and stuff like that. They weren't allowed to get involved in uh, they weren't allowed to get involved when they seen stuff happening. There was incidents whereas would the military of whatever side would literally walk past UN troops and cause mass murder for the people that the UN people were supposed to be protecting, but because the UN soldiers were not directly threatened, they couldn't engage. So I thankfully, after those two conflicts, Rwanda and Kosovo, the UN now have vastly improved their specific contact rules of engagement and things like that. Quite a few of us go to combat stress meetings because of Balkans. Were you in the and Andrew? Were you in the Balkans? Um, sit back and witness ethnic cleansing. I think was NATO's. Yeah, it was. It was. It was. It was one of those. It was literally like a political war in the fact that they knew they had to do something, but they didn't want it to turn into like Vietnam, where it was unwinnable. Um, so they literally just send soldiers there and go and make it look like you're doing something, and tie their arms pretty much. Um, so you'd know better, Andrew. Am I correct in those rules of engagement? I think that's the gist of them pretty much. Um, sit back and yeah, the RUC sent a number of con continues to serve under the UN banner on Kosovo 2009 2000 1999 2000. I know some Irish guys that were in Kosovo and they were attached to the International Police Force. And what they used to do was they provided security for the International Police Force while these white guys were going out investigating war crimes. And it could be raiding houses, it could be going out to try and catch people that they were looking for, it could have been going out to dig mass graves. But I know some guys that were involved in that, and I believe they said the International Police Force was made up of policemen from all over the world. You could have forensic detectives from New York. You could have uh, more detectives from the Metropolitan Police Department in London, from the Scotland Yard, from the RUC. They were from everywhere and anywhere, and they formed this international police group. And the Irish guys I knew were there to protect them while they were doing their job, pretty much. Big respect, Andrew. Yeah, well done, Andrew, and thanks very much for your service. I've messaged World War Two military via YouTube, so hopefully he will get in touch. Very good. Um, That's. Thank you very much for that. I hope he gets in contact with me. Um, Maybe off banner mightn't be his thing, and I might be able to try and find something else for him. Um, as a prize, but we'll wait and see. But it is an off banner mystery box. Andrew, who did you serve with? Andrew, you're a Scottish regiment, if I remember correctly. Um, so yeah, so that's who World War Two militaria. You are the winner, Andrew. Pretty much, we thought the ROE would be similar to Bosnia, but it wasn't. It was more like stand and watch only. Get involved if you were in danger. Yeah, exactly. It was very bad. All right, engineers. Engineers, send in the engineers. Actually, engineers are very good. Engineers are very good to have on your side. We had them build a pool for us on a tour overseas that I was involved in, whereas they literally cut the top off a water tank and made us a pool with a decking around it and everything, and we had beach lawn chairs and the whole lot. So engineers are good guys to have around. Where they got the materials for it, I don't want to know because they're very good at acquiring stuff as well. Are the Royal Engineers or any engineers in general? They're very good at acquiring stuff. um, yeah, actually, I'm drinking tea and I don't have no drinking hat on. Actually, in solidarity with Andrew, tonight's drinking cap will be the Highland Light Infantry. They won the materials. Yeah, they'd find materials out of anything, really, pretty much. Uh, Engineers can make materials appear out of thin air. They are, and they're very bloody good at it too. Um, Smoking pits as well. They can make massive smoking pits with great canopies and stuff. And engineers can do things. Andrew, no problem. They lived in the Bronx in Mount Pleasant. Um, yeah, so the what other very ingenious guy? Medics are always good to have on your side because they have the control of oxygen when you're dying of hangovers and painkillers and painkillers, especially if you're in the infantry, more painkillers. Yeah, so and then there's other places then as well. It's good to know have a buddy in the stores. It's good to have another buddy in the ordnance stores. It was in the clothing stores. It's good to have a buddy in the ordnance stores. It's good to have a buddy in the orderly room or the ops room. It's good to have a guy because he can get orders changed and he can mislay stuff. Especially if you're getting a shitty detail, he can divert information. Um, yeah, so there are three very good places to have. Company office as well. If you have a buddy in the company office, there are four very good places to have friends. Chefs are good to be. Uh, nah, yeah. We call them fitter turners. Chefs in the army. They fit it into a pot and turn it to absolute shit. Um, I know I was saying that now again. Sorry. You do come across one or two good chefs, but the ones that I have ran into, yeah. We actually were in a place one time and we had a chef with us, and he was so bad that we got the platoon sergeant to put him on the post with us, and we took one of the lads that had no chefing qualifications. He worked in McDonald's before he joined the army, and we put him in the kitchen, and the food was actually better with him in the kitchen than it was with the chef, who was now in Sangers with us because he nearly poisoned us two or three times. That's a true story. So here we have. I'll just turn it this way so you can see the cap badge. Highland Light Infantry. See the H, the I, and the L. Uh, they were amalgamated when amalgamated all the Scottish regiments, the Black Watch, the Argylls, these lads. They were all amalgamated now to the Royal Regiment of Scotland. So yeah, there's a little bit of history for you. It was Steven Seagal one you have to watch. I'm not just a cook. Uh, I also cook. Yeah. Yeah. Steven Seagal. Didn't he go? He went. I can remember like reading bits and bobs, and he did like he did stuff with the CIA. Supposedly, he did stuff with the CIA, and he was. Did he become a sheriff of some town as well in America? Some weird stuff like that. Um, no, these are actually very comfortable hats. So yeah, I like them. I hope nobody gets peeved now because I'm wearing the regimental beret. The guy is a massive wealth. Explains he is a explains why he is a. Uh, yeah, he's I remember reading stories about him, and the other fella as well, John Claude Van Damme as well, as apparently he's gone off his nut as well, gone completely. Is he as large as a whale? Oh. Well, yeah, but John Claude Van Damme apparently has gone completely off his nut as well. Um, I don't know what happened. Was it a breakdown or what? Um, do you know who I actually really like is like an action type star type guy would be Jackie Chan, because Jackie Chan is nuts. He does all his own stunts and stuff, but he'd be a martial art. Jet Li as well is another good martial arts expert type guy. Um, oh, what's your man from The Mechanic? English guy who's actually he's actually in running. I believe him, Tom Hardy, and I can't remember who the other guy is. They're actually in running for the new James Bond. Oh, it's the name is The Mechanic. He was in The Mechanic and in Crank, and in Mean Machine. He was in all. Jason Stillum. Yeah, that's him. That's the guy I'm thinking of. He's actually in the running apparently for the new James Bond, along with Tom Hardy. I believe Tom Hardy would be a savage James Bond. I just think he is. He was savage in Venom. He was savage in Peaky Blinders. All his roles, he just does outstanding work. Him, Mark Wahlberg, Jason, sorry, Tom Hardy, Mark Wahlberg would probably be my two top actors at the minute. Yeah, they would be. And then the classic actors can't beat John Wayne. Can't beat John Wayne. But yeah, sorry, getting back to the nuttiness. Yeah, I think he's good in Taboo. He was good in Taboo. Too true, Kenny. Uh, yeah, he's gone off his nuts as well. I believe John Claude. He got his he got his receding hairline dyed to look like a vampire. Who? Steven Seagal or John Claude Van Damme? Mark Strong. Um, Mark Strong as the new James Bond. Hmm. Mark, I don't think Wahlberg could take off James Bond. Uh, no. Ben Affleck is another good actor. He's not in much stuff lately, but he was a good actor. Argo. Did you ever see the film Argo, where he was the CIA guy? That was a good film. Why do we always go back to films, guys? Okay, I don't know. Seagal. I don't think intended. He intended to look like a vampire. He just does. Any good? He'd be good. Mark Strong. I don't know. What should be good if the new BBC drama about SAS Paddy Men? Yes, I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to Tom Hanks's new series. The Is my camera very blurry or is it just me? I love that light. Is that better? Uh, Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg are doing another Band of Brothers Pacific type series. Supposedly, I haven't seen much about it. I did see a lot about it at one stage, but I don't know if they've started filming it because of COVID and things like that. about the Eighth Air Force in. I have it shine there now. About the Eighth Air Force in Europe during the Second World War. Um, but yeah, that new SAS Paddy Main thing, I'd say, is going to be fantastic. Spoiler: Bond is dead. The writers killed him. David, wrecking it for us. Um, that'd be good. Paddy Main actually played rugby for Ireland. Anybody know? Born in the north. Um, but he played rugby for the Republic of Ireland. Sorry, guys. Oh, Paddy was a ledge. What's ledge? What's it called? I actually don't know. Um, your man, isn't it the actor from 71 that plays him? What's his name? Can't think of his name. If you care, it is more than the writer. It is more than the writers did. Um, yeah. Did any of you see the film Greyhound with Tom Hanks in it, where he's the captain of the boat? I think I watched it there as well again during the week. I managed to get a copy of it somewhere. If you can get a hand, get your whole, if you've got your little streaming sites where you watch your movies and stuff or things like that. Um, Clean movies now, guys. We're talking about the internet here now. But look up the Greyhound. It's about he's a captain on an escort on the Battle of the Atlantic. He Tom Hanks specifically. If he does a World War Two movie, it is fantastic. Band of Brothers, brilliant. Saving Private Ryan, brilliant. Pacific, brilliant. Hopefully, this new series about the 8th Air Force is brilliant. Um, the Greyhound, fantastic. Special effects in it are unbelievable. Um, but it's not a very well acclaimed movie, like what we were talking about the last day with Trumpets Fade. Um, Another movie that doesn't get as much recognition as it should. Uh, yeah, go look up that movie, lads. The Greyhound. It's good. It's a good movie. So, boys, we're coming up on an hour. So, if you've any questions, like we normally do for the last bit of it, or if you've anything, it's on Apple TV here in US. Haven't seen it yet. It's go look at John. Look it up. It's brilliant, fantastic movie. Um, yeah, I know that I'm thinking about it. I'll try and get my if I get a chance, I'll watch my look at my little ponytails. I'll watch it again tonight. What is actually, Andrew? You'll be able to tell me. What is the idea of this? Why are these done? Is it a tradition, or is there a? Because I know on the Irish Glengarry's, the black is in mourning for Michael Collins, but I'm just wondering, is there a tradition for these on? Because you would know more. Um, or they're just for swatting flies around the place. I shouldn't joke because I know an awful lot of guys have pride in their cap badges and their headdress. This is not stolen valor, guys. I'm not wearing any other uniform part than a hat because it is tradition here on the channel. Worth setting your vel in. In relation to watching, in relation to James Bond, or in relation to the Greyhound. Yeah, I think I might watch that movie again tonight if he let me go early enough. Greyhound wasn't bad. Probably the best naval war movie was Coral Sea. Oh, if we're going to talk about war movies, you have Sink the Bismarck, you have The Sea Shall Not Have Him, you have In Which They Serve, you have Enemy Below, you have All Boats Away. Did I miss any, guys? VPL. Still not seen Greyhound yet. You need to check it out. Yeah, it's a good movie. It is a good movie. Um, It's a fantastic movie, actually. The Ground. I really really enjoyed that movie. Sorry, I check something here. That's Boat. Yeah, that's Boat. Forgot that one. Didn't they make a remake of that in a TV series there not so long ago, if I remember correctly? Carl C. Great book. Lads, we forgot the mother and father of all naval books, movies. Mutiny on the Bounty, and what was the one about the whale? Moby Dick. I know they're not World War Two movies or World War Two stories, but they're naval. The TV series was good too. I didn't see the TV series. I didn't see the TV series. Is there like is there any other movie streaming sites apart from YouTube that do like full movies and stuff like that? I know there are, but some of them you have to like the quality's crap and everything like that. Any World War Two films with John Mills in it? What was your man from the Italian Job where they were in? Oh, there were. They said there was an American sailor attached to them, and it went going on a patrol, and the officer was a bit of a div, and they had to like run 1,000 yards, death run in and out of the camp. Ice Cold and Alex, yeah, another one. Enemy Below, said that one. Dunkirk. The original Dunkirk is better, I believe, than the newer Dunkirk. Red October, Too Late the Hero. That's the one I'm thinking of, Andrew. Thank you very much. Um, yeah. You, of course, you'd know that. There were all Scottish lads in it. Military men, yes. Above us the waves. Don't remember that one. There was a good one as well about the frogmen in Malta. Oh, black and white. It's on YouTube actually. I watched it on YouTube there a couple of months back. Uh, Play Dirty. The Dirty Dozen. No, not really naval. We're talking about naval war movies. Um, I really like though the old classic World War Two British movies. The BBC do fantastic doco-dramas about First World War, about Second World War, stuff like that. Murphy's War. Murphy's War, though, was a bit. I don't know. It was a bit. Look, it probably did happen. I'm sure it happened. The segregation and stuff like that was still in the military during the Second World War. Um, Probably Willett or what's his name, the Bally fella from fucking Die Hard. Um, Bruce Willis. I don't like him. I don't like him as an actor, not as a person, but as an actor. I don't really dig his stuff. You can't beat the classic square peg starting Norman Wisdom. Yeah, shot at the devil could be classic World War One. Oh God, classic World War One. I suppose would have to be All Quiet in the Western Front, the original All Quiet in the Western Front. There was two actually. There was a remake as well during the 80s, which went from Little House in the Prairie. Um, new war films just don't have the spirit of the old ones. The Hill, yes. Rifleman Moore, welcome to the party. Um, The Hill, yeah, classic war movie. Um, or sure, another he was actually a good James Bond as well. Actually, when you think of it, World War One, Paths of Glory. Yes. Hello, Simon. Welcome, welcome to the fun and festivities of the madness of Air and Military Collectibles live stream. Everyone, say hello to Simon. Say hello, Simon. Um, I reckon the BBC Dan Busters documentary on Dan Snow was I'm not going to mention that word. Read the book by James Holland instead. Dan Snow though, he does do an awful lot of good documentaries. I really like not James May, um, Clarkson's the two documentaries he did on the raid in at the harbour, and the one he did on his, was it his father-in-law that won the VC. Those two documentaries were brilliant. Say hello, Simon. Hello, Simon. Malta story. Yes, that's the one about the frogman. Um, Saint Saint Nazaire. Yes, correct, Simon. Correct. That's the place where they rammed the ship into the dock. But yeah, his two documentaries, Clarkson's two documentaries on that are fantastic. If you ask me. Um, who else though did good documentaries? BBC's documentaries on the Somme and stuff like that are very good, I believe. Um, the Greatest Raid of All, yes, correct. That's Clarkson's one, and the other one then, Al Murray's Road to Berlin. Yes, I forgot about that one. That's a good one. No, that's not the Frogman one. The Malta story. No, the Malta story isn't. The Malta story isn't the one I'm thinking about with the Frogman. They were the harbour patrol basically. They were checking ships for bombs. I reckon Dan Snow sounds more time looking at the camera with a fair away look in his eyes. Not anything, not my thing. Oh, I know. I like some of Dan Snow stuff. He did some. They did himself and his father did a very good documentary on the Falklands. Um, I believe that one is a good one. The Falklands one, and then there's an original Falklands. There's one. There's one, two, three. There's three episodes of the Falklands documentary where it was actually done, where they interviewed guys who had literally just come back from the Falklands. It wasn't done long after the Falklands, um, and that's actually on YouTube as well. That's a very good one. And then a good film that I watched about the Falklands as well was An Ungentlemanly Act. They're good shows as well to watch. No, it wasn't the Frogman. Hang on a second. No, I reckon Dan Snow. We read that one. White webbing and gaiters in relation to the bandwidth is getting cranky. If people haven't watched it, the BBC Great War, yeah, that is a good one. That is a good documentary. Well worth a watch. It's a true epic. I tried Murray's book. I can't deal with his writing style. Don't didn't that fragment end up chopped up after he investigated ship and visited England? Yes, there was a conspiracy theory there about a former frogman MI6 guy getting chopped up by a ship that he wasn't supposed to be near. I'm reading Jaws of Death now about the Saint Nazaire raid with HMS Campbelltown. Good book. Yeah, go look up that documentary. So Clarkson's documentary. Simon mentioned it there a few minutes ago. Is it the greatest raid of them all or something it's called? Um, Very good documentary. And then he did another one about his Arnhem. It wasn't San Nazaire. It was his father-in-law in Arnhem, who won the Victoria Cross. The Silent Enemy. Where are we gone now? A second. Check out Nick. That's him, Commander Garb. That's Nick. That's him, Commander Garb. Yes, a Soviet diver got him. Rex Hunt was the British consul in Vietnam. Was just before the fall of Saigon, before his positioning in Gibraltar, Falklands. Unluckily led. Yeah, Jesus. Um, yeah, he did. But that was didn't he? Wasn't that his famous thing? He said that he was evacuated from two war zones or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. Fragment film, The Silent Enemy, filmed in Malta and Gibraltar. Story based on the Buster Carbel vanishing film 1958. That's the one I think you're on about, lads. What Military Collective was there just said, I got the book Stan Gripping Read. Yeah, that's the film. That's the film. Um, I can't read Anthony Beaver's books. I tried, but I prefer Max Hastings. Sid James, part of Ace. Part of Ace. Um, Pure Rex Hunt probably thought they'd send him somewhere quiet after Vietnam. Poor Rex Hunt, yeah, got him. They thought they had. Imagine just like after being sent after going through the nuttery in Vietnam, think you're getting a nice quiet post, and all you're going to have to worry about is penguins and sheep, and the next thing the RGs come barging through the door. That'll be very, yeah. Poor old Rex. Uh, Jungle Green is a very good 1968 documentary on YouTube about the British troops in Borneo conflict. I haven't seen that one actually. I must look that up. I must look that one up. Um, the full Falklands Island radio broadcast from the night of the invasion is available on YouTube. Um, it's crazy what you can find on YouTube actually. Do you ever just type in random information bits about YouTube or into YouTube and it's crazy what you come across. Jungle Green is excellent. I was watching the Battle of Government House the other night. Is that the the movie An Ungentlemanly Act? Um, because that's a good movie. There isn't many Falklands movies really. That's the only one I can think off the top of my head. An Ungentlemanly Act. Sorry, there was Tumbledown about. Oh, I can't think of his name. He was a Scots Guards guy, got shot in the head, lost a lot of his brain. Um, oh, why can't I think of his name? I can see his face. He actually did an interview on the Late Late Show, which is an Irish talk show. Um, oh God, I can't think of his name. Hopefully, it'll pop into my head now in a minute. Tumbledown was the name of the movie. It's basically his story, if you get me. Someone's telling me it's Simon. I don't think it's Simon though. Simon something. Oh, I can't think of his name. Along with Ambush, which is the from the same period. Oh, that you're talking about the Jungle Green. Sorry, the Jungle Green documentary. Have you seen the Alan Clark film Contact? No, I haven't actually. Yeah, I've seen the video clip. I recommend checking out the Thomas TV channel on YouTube for period troubles coverage. Oh yes, another one is something press. Associated Press is another good one. If you want us to find stuff about the trouble. And yes, the RTE archives is very very good as well. Um, the Pat News, Pat News video on the what emergency. Yes, that's another good one actually. Along with the RTE, Thomas TV have some great stuff on the channel. Hey there, I'm back. Hey Jim, welcome. Welcome to the Danger UXB was good. Yes, that I remember that now. That was about a bomb squad in in the World War Two. World War Two. Lost my train of thought there for a minute. Contact is about the troubles. Yes. How do you pronounce the E in RT? Radio Telefish Aaron. Radio Telefish Aaron. Um, the accent over it, John. It's fodder. It's called a fodder. A, um, it gives an A sound. The E with a fodder it gives an A sound. So it's Radio Telefish Aaron. Welcome, Jim. How are you? I'm trying to find out UXB. Find that UXB documentary not the drama series. Okay, Jim Timber himself. I hope you are fortunate in GDR, sir. Got you. Cheers. No problem. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Like Irish is very. You can actually translate Irish words. So, my name in Irish is Sean, which is John. O is son of. Ni, if it was a girl, would be Ni, would be daughter of. So if you see a name with O'Sullivan or O'Malley, the O stands for son of. So it's John, son of. Con is Sly, or sorry, Con is Sly and Shunnock is Fox. So it's John, son of Sly Fox. That's how you break down. Yeah, it's like a Nordic thing. Everything can be broken down. Um, Great find those jackets, Jim. Oh, you're talking about Jim's Marines jackets. Yeah, they were a great find. I didn't know that the Marines had pilots. I didn't know that till Jim's video. Um, so there you go, guys. That was a very good, interesting one for me. Um, if any of you don't know, or if any of you are completely so, Rifleman Moore, very very good YouTube channel. Kenny, I don't know if Kenny has one. Military Man has one, good one. Stan has a good channel as well. Jim has a good channel. Military Collectibles, if he's floating around there somewhere as well, has a good one. Um, so yeah, so go subscribe to each other, guys. It's a nice little community to have. So go subscribe to each other. Where have we gone? Clock, clock stopped off. Steel helmet Stan. I've been fed the DDRT. So lads are on DDRT, which is not good. There was a three-part doc about bomb disposal. First conflict, anti-Trump flares. There's a documentary. Is it called The Running Men or The Bomb Men or something like that? There's a very good documentary on YouTube about the um, bomb squads in Northern Ireland, um, which was literally trial and error. If they literally um, so you Simon just there's just remember the lads there. You just type them in and the search engines. A lot of the lads there have very good channels. Um, Stan does, Jim does, David doesn't have a channel. I don't think. Jim, yeah, Jim mentioned Jim. Military Collectibles is there. Who else is floating around there that has a channel? Military Man has one. Yeah, so there you go. Uh, did someone kill Kenny? No, Kenny's there. Where have we gone? Yeah, sorry, that documentary. I can't remember the name, but off the top of my head, it was a very, very good documentary about the bomb squad in Northern Ireland. Um, Literally, it was trial and error. Um, and you see the equipment that the guys had uh, was very bad as well. Second there, guys. Yeah, Kenny's back. No one killed Kenny. No, spell check has gone mental. Um, yeah, so we're going to give it another 10 minutes, guys. As always, we'll give it up until 9:30. It is 9:30. Am I correct with my timing? I am. We'll give it till 9:30 and then we will call it quits. And as I said, there will be a armistice video coming up tomorrow. Um, I didn't want to play. I said I'd post it on the Sunday, which is armistice weekend, I suppose. Really, I'm not going to take responsibility for killing Kenny this time. uh, I remember a documentary on BBC about 1983 about Paris, and I was in the Para Army Cadets, and we all watched it. The voiceover guy was Gillian. Can't remember the name of anyone. Remember it? I don't know, Stan. I don't know. Um, Advances were paid for in blood as usual. The one I watched had an old vet. who blew his face off and ugh. Um, do you ever what were the name of him? Simon, if he's still there, would probably remember. There was a documentary. A doctor, he literally experimented on RAF pilots that had been burnt, and they were called something guinea pigs, if I can remember. There's a documentary about them, but it's a fantastic documentary in relation to the techniques and stuff that he formulated. And unfortunately, apparently, burns it was a massive injury the pilots were getting during the Second World War was burns from engines catching fire and things like that, obviously. And he, oh, I can't think of it. It wasn't Bletchley Park, because Bletchley Park was where the code breakers were. But he formulated the Guinea Pig Club. Is that what the documentary's called? Um, it's a fantastic documentary, guys. If you can find it, the Guinea Pig Club. It must be called the Guinea Pig Club then, because there's an awful lot of guys putting up that name. Uh, he operated in his some hospital, yeah, Paris. Then, did you know? Did you mean Archibald? Who are we going? Did you mean the name Archibald? I think that was the doctor's name. I'm not sure actually. Um, was that the name of the documentary to David? I actually think it was. I know that's how they refer to themselves. Yeah, the Guinea Pig Club. I can't remember. It could be actually the name of the documentary too. Um, World Ward, notice me. Hello, how are you? Um, along with the Caterpillar Club, notice World Ward. Kenny Rebel, yeah, the Paris documentary from about 1983. I don't know that documentary, guys. Is it? There is a black and white documentary. It's a clip, really, pretty much, of the Paris training in the Sudan. Was it the Sudan? Or was it the Suez? The Suez Canal. Um, around the mid 60s, I believe, early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. It's about a 9 minute clip. I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Where have we gone? Hi, Rifleman, more big fan. Simon, hello, hello, thank you. I'm a World War One Scottish Royal Highlands Regiment, 1916. Well, the cap that I was wearing there for my drinking cap is the Highland Light Infantry. There you go. And I do have an Argyle and Southern Highlanders one on the way. Thanks to Andrew, who's around there. Caterpillar Club was for those who bailed out and used the parachute, a reference to the silk. Oh, okay, very good. They're actually, I know the guys that use the ejector seat are all, they have a club and they're all given a special tie. Here's another interesting fact for you, please. Archie Baldwin was the aspiring plastic surgeon who worked around Stoke. I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the actual doctor, but I do remember the documentary. Um, I can't remember the name of the doctor, but yeah, I do remember the because I can remember that they had this surgery, whereas they would to sort of get blood back into the skin as they would form literally a tube from the guy's chest to his chin with a piece of skin, made it into a tube so that they could reintegrate blood back into their faces, or if wherever the burn was, they would do this thing. It was weird. Super glue, actually, if you didn't know this, actually, guys, super glue was invented during the Vietnam War for closing uh, injury, closing bleeds and stuff like that. Where are we gone? Late arrival, the late arrivals club. Um, where we go? Nice, Glenn Gary. Thank you very much. I've got one and a helmet and a tank. Oh, Tam Shanter too. Very good. Sorry, Tam Shanter. I know what you meant. Um, I don't have a Tam Shanter. You're 9 years old, by the way. Well, welcome. Guys, keep it clean. We have a 9-year-old in the building. World War II pilots that were badly burnt fared best in salt water if they ditched into the sea. Very good. Didn't know that. Well, I suppose, yeah, salt water would clean them. Okay, I've just looked it up. The BBC 2003 named by Glenn Worship. I remember it well in the team show. Rifleman Moore, later Rivals Club for members of the U.S. Army Air Corps. Yes. Um, there was, yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's there's lots of different. The Chindits had a club as well, if I remember. Um, they had a club. Merle's Marauders had their own club. Uh, we all know the Easy Company 506. They were famous for having reunions every year. Um, so yeah, so I'm trying to think what other clubs were there. Um, I know the guys in the Falklands that were injured um, had their own. I wouldn't call it a club, but more of a support network. Um, a lot of the Grenadier, not the Grenadier, were they Grenadier Guards? Guys that got burnt. They had their own club, and stuff like that. Not really a club, more of a networking support group type thing. I started collecting about seven. Where have we gone? I started collecting at about seven. Warn your wallet now, whilst you're still young, lad. Yes, yes. This collecting stuff can get very expensive, Warlord, so be careful. But welcome to the club. I actually live in Edinburgh, Scotland. Hello. Andrew's from Glasgow. Jimmy's from Jerrygo. Jimmy's from Edinburgh. But he's living in Poland. He's mixed up completely altogether. David Mean City, Welsh Guards. Welsh Guards, that's the ones that were burnt. In a. Okay, I'm very bad with names lately. Can't think of the name of the ship neither that were burnt on. Do you know History Secrets, also known as Nick? History Secrets. The name sounds familiar. History Secrets. History Secrets. History Secrets. Does he do like an animated cartoon type videos, if I remember correctly? Um, he's in the para documentary, as in the para documentary. Late arrivals Club RAF awarded the Winged Boot badge for bailing out of aircraft and making their way back to base. Simon Weston, uh, sub to Lucas 303. We will. Anyone there that's around, sub to Lucas 303. And my channel World War. I'll try and get that as the. So guys, if you can subscribe there to World War and Lucas 303, please subscribe to them. RFA Sir Galahad. That's the one, Sir Galahad. Simon, I'd be lost without you because my memory's gone crap lately. My dad mate is in that doc para watched a few times as a cadet. Oh, very good. I do actually, while we're on the subject of paras, because I only put them away today, I have my three para berets. So we have the blacked out one, do it with the silk. We have the regular silver one with the silk, and then I think this is um, 50s, 60s anyway, definitely. Um, Possibly early later is Kangol para beret, and you can actually tell the difference in the shapes because this one is sort of the old style. Couldn't really even get away with it from being World War II compared to the newer ways that they have them, which they nearly wear as a flat cap. And there we go. That's how they sort of wear them, isn't it? They don't. Um, and then the black one is for, see, this is very common in Northern Ireland, and it is very common in the black one is very common. We see with regiments in the Northern Ireland theatre, and it is also the Pathfinders wear on their everyday berets. They wear the blacked out cap edge. To this, which is for those of you that don't know. Cool breath. Thank you, Jane. Awesome parallel. Thank you very much. 22, 22 air assault 2 RTR serving on foot in Northern Ireland often wore their black cap badges, black badges on black berets. Look neat. Yes, the green jackets as well were famous for wearing blacked out badges. And then probably the most hated regiment in the entire British Army. The cherry berries. Actually, they're hated in every army, pretty much. Soldier check. Then this is. It's always on him. There's the Royal Green Jackets, which were amalgamated into the rifles, known as the Black Mafia. The Royal Green Jackets. How they got the nickname the Black Mafia, I don't know, but that's what their nickname was, the Black Mafia. And unfortunately, in Up Banner, Northern Ireland Troubles, they gained the nickname the Fallen Plates because there were so many of them injured and killed. Oh. And then another famous regiment from the Troubles. It's absolutely walking. I'm going to give it a brush down. So from the tips and try the tips video, guys, always have a brush to clean stuff. Oh, another famous regiment from the Northern Ireland Troubles. Actually, borders that way. The UDR, the Ulster Defence Regiment. Famous one as well. From the Troubles. Where have we gone? Congal were the Barrettes were made just a couple of minutes up the road from me. Factory now gone and is now a car park. Oh, that's unfortunate. They like it, they like it like that. Um, you're watching TikTok as well as watching this. My dad was in the KRRK, later became the Royal Green Jackets in Winchester. Oh, very good, Jim. Pen, Venezuela. Guy I buy kit of is an ex Royal Green Jacket. King's Royal Green, King's Royal Rifle Corps. Um, Military man John, did you know how the Paras got their famous beret? I did. There's a bit of controversy about that, and Simon, if he's still there, actually did a video on it and put it to bed how they got their beret. It wasn't the general's wife of the 16th Air Assault at the time. It was literally the private that was wearing it, preferred the maroon, and they went, okay, we'll get the maroon. So, and if there is, Simon has it. Simon did it on his video. There is a letter from his wife stating that she had nothing to do with the picking of the beret. Where have we gone? Green jackets, the best, are only ever then released back in, semi tamed and back into the wild. Isn't one of the rifles' new nicknames the Berg? I don't know. Someone mentioned it in a few years back. I don't know. I know at the time the Green Jackets they were known as the Black Mafia. Royal Anglican nickname is the Cowpats. They don't like it. Simon has that covered. Yes, Simon does have that covered. Thanks to the British. Airborne. Thanks to the Airborne Assault Museum. Yes, that's the model. Yeah. So yeah, it was the private that picked them. Go check out Simon's video. It's easier to do, say that way. Go check out Rifleman Moore. Go check out his video. They started so many regiments recently. Yeah, there was a rake of regiments amalgamated. All the Scottish regiments were amalgamated into the Royal Regiment of Scotland. An awful lot of regiments were made TA, and an awful lot of TA regiments were amalgamated. Um, I think there's only two TA Irish regiments. That's the Royal London Irish, the London Irish, and is there I think there's an Irish artillery regiment or company as well, still floating around somewhere. Then you have the Royal Irish Regiment and the Irish Guards. They're the only two Irish regiments left, as far as I know. Or sorry, there is another TA one. The Irish Horse is still floating around. Their Yeomanry Cavalry TA regiment. Um, yeah, I was a corporal in the Royal Anglican Cadets. I made corporal in the cadets. We had the same beret colour as the SAS. For the Anglican, I actually have an Anglican beret somewhere. I'm not going to go through the whole beret bloody locker again, but I do actually have a Royal Anglican beret as well somewhere. I'll find it again some other time. Uh, it's brown. It is brown. Yes. The badge and color. Sorry, no dice. Must be off. I fear a few things to do before turning in. No problem, Simon. Thanks for coming in. Pleasure to have you. You're more than welcome. We're normally on Fridays at 8 o'clock. Just so happen we moved to tonight. And if I don't know, do people fancy keeping the Saturday nights? I don't know. Some people seem to enjoy the Friday nights. It's all about the badge. It is all about the badge. Take care, Mr. Moore. Later, Rifleman Moore. Yeah. So have a good one. So I'll just have a quick look, and it can be the last thing that we do. So I'll try and find that Anglican beret. I do have one somewhere. That's not Anglican. That one is. There's the Anglican. They actually wear their berets a bit like the Americans do, which is that one. Ugh. I like Friday, but it's your channel. Sure, we'll stick with Fridays. It's just easier for Fridays. Suffolk Regiment, 1881 to 1959. Yes, their barracks was about 2 miles from me. Yesterday was my birthday. I was expecting a live then. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. Sorry, buddy. Happy birthday, Jim, everyone. Happy birthday, Jim. Give Jim a happy birthday. Kenny, actually, don't kill Kenny. Don't kill Jim now because it's his birthday. Please. So yeah, so there's the Anglican one. He's 16 and never been kissed, guys. 16 and never been kissed. Jim Timber 45 old again. Happy birthday, Jim. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jim. Happy birthday to you. There we go. 45 plus 11. That's tax. 21% tax. It's fine. VAT. Jesus, guys, we've gone over the time frame, so Anglicans are a good bunch. Now, a few in two Royal Anglican when they were in Germany. Uh, yeah, they're a new enough regiment, I believe, aren't they? The Anglicans, I don't think were they amalgamated as well with some other regiments. VAT 69. Band of Brothers reference there, if anyone didn't catch that gun. Right, guys, so it is clock off time. So I will love you and leave you, and you will see the next video tomorrow. And I will see you same time next Friday at 8 o'clock. So please tune in. And if any of you can get in contact with World War II Militaria, he has until the next live stream to get in contact with me for the Op Banner mystery box. And if not, we will raffle it again. Colum, I miss you. I'll give you a miss you. Yes, they are. I was only joking. It's my duty. Thanks, military collectibles. Catch you later. Thanks, mate. See you. No problem. Time flies like anything. Flies like bananas. See you next time. So, see you later, guys. Have a good one, and we will see you next week.